I'm Kun Chi-yoon. In American, I'm called KC. I'm 79 years old. I came to the States in 1960, so I'm the last one of 7 children my parents had. My father had a big Korean paper business. So as a result, we had a house in Seoul and a big warehouse in Seoul. Also a big plant in Anyang. Anyang is about 15 miles south of Seoul, across Han River. We spent a lot of time at our farm. A plant had a big farm with it, and we had probably biggest vineyards in Korea at that time. When the war broke out, I was 7 years old, and you know that after the war, story of the war broke out on 25th of June. Seoul was taken by the North Koreans in about 3 days. Fortunately, my father sensed that something was wrong, so he moved our entire family to Anyang, across Han River, before the bridge was cut off. After several days, Anyang was run over too. Now I remember that my parents and my older sisters, who were in the upper teens, they all disappeared. And we were sort of left alone with the workers of the farm. I think my parents were evading capture and going here and there, and also hiding out older sisters from the soldiers. When we went back to Seoul, I could remember the devastation. I would see pockets of things that are destroyed. Then what I remember more is this funny stench. And I would ask my mother, what is this? And she says, no, there are a bunch of rats that's rotting away, just hiding the truth. I got typhoid fever. Okay, and during that time, there was no medication whatsoever. Was all dried up during the war. Not even aspirin. So my mother would just use a wet towel to keep on, trying to control my fever. I was so sick and thin, I could not sit down. I would fall off. When the Chinese communists came down, again we went to our Anyang farm first, then had to retreat to Busan. But my parents could not just leave me behind because they thought I would die during the trip. It was trip on either on top of the freight train roof or whatever you could take, But they finally put me into a roly-poly. Otugi, you know what otugi is? Yeah, roly-poly, so that I would not fall off, by wrapping quilts around me and made a little teepee-like thing, by covering my head. So it took me down in a freight train to Busan. I was in first grade when the war broke out in 1954, when we came back to Seoul after the armistice. I entered the school as a 5th grader, so I was jumping around. But, well, I guess that didn't affect me very much because I did okay in school. In the last year of the high school, I went to Gyeonggi High School, which is quite well-known high school in Korea. Everybody was studying very hard for entrance exam. I didn't really like that. My father always told me, you don't have to study everything. You just have to know just the essence of what is important. Don't waste all your time. My father studied economics in Tokyo, and he was the founder of Korean Stock Exchange. So he was an economist, okay? So, but he had some firm belief in life. He didn't give children that much confidence. He was very strict, you have to do this or that. My big brother gave me a lot of confidence when I came to the United States. My mother would tell me, oh, Kanchi, you gotta do this a little bit better. And he would always tell my mother, Mom, he's doing just fine. So don't worry about it. He's smart enough to do that. By the way, my big brother left Korea 4 days before the war broke out. He left by Northwest Airlines, which was the last commercial airline out of Korea before the war. He found a foothold in the United States by the time war was over, and he started bringing his siblings over to the United States. That's how I came to the States. My mother was in the United States already. She found a place in California, and I joined her. My father was in Korea most of the time, went back and forth. He was the founder of Korean stock market. He was lecturing in the universities about stock market theory. He felt that in order for Korea to become a world power, you've got to have get the private capital involved. He was quite forward thinking. Yeah, unfortunately, I'm not that way. My motto in life is 상선 약수, flow with water. Best virtue is flowing with water. Just roll with punches or flow with nature. I studied engineering, chemical engineering at the University of California, Berkeley. I went on to graduate school, Princeton University, and got a doctorate in the same field. At that time, Princeton Chemical Engineering was in US news and so on, always at top 1 or 2. So I could get any job I wanted, but I wanted to go back to California. So I went to Shell Oil Company Research Center at Emerville, which is across the bay from San Francisco. After working for Shell for 24 years in 1992, I decided that Shell's not going to offer me their presidency. And that's when my younger daughter, graduated from Princeton. So I said, this is time for me to look for, greener pasture. So I resigned Shell when I was 50. Actually, it was an early retirement with some, pension and medical benefits. I retired early because I thought to do a new business, chances of success would be quite low. So I wanted to give myself different, couple of chances, even if it doesn't work out. I tried the different things. One thing, I owned a cafe, but I finally found a business in environmental engineering service engineering field, more in the air pollution, control of air polluting vapor, refineries and chemical plants. And I was able to develop machinery that handles that. Eventually, I was able to get a patent on that. So I was able to establish my business quite well, almost on monopoly for about 10, 15 years until patent expired. I always had the belief that opportunities would come to me if I prepare myself. So it is this 상선약수 concept, you flow with the nature and things will work for me type of thing. If an opportunity comes, I would grab it. And if I grabbed it, things would work out. We live in a society, 공동체 in Korean. And unless this 공동체 we live in is better, I cannot be better off myself. So always wanted to do a little bit, not that much, but just a little bit to contribute. If I contributed a little more than what I get from it, that's probably best I can do. I really think a world of the United States, because during the Korean War, Korea had nothing, no industry. It all depended on assistance from the United States. It is a miracle that we live this well right now. But it came from help from the other people and from the community. Well, we got to pay back and try to contribute a little bit. So I'm end of my second career and starting a third career, sort of, as a 한인 회장. I just got elected to be the president of Korean American Association Community Center of Houston. My first experience in getting involved in Korean community was through Korean school. I organized the what they call CCD classes, the Sunday school classes, and also started teaching Korean. After a while, I decided that for Korean school to prosper, we should have more professional system. So we took that out of a Catholic school and made it what we call it 범교포정, for the entire community with help of other people. And in order to have the school system that would operate well, you got to have financial support. So there's an operating group, teachers. We developed a board of directors who would support the school. I got really involved in having our Korean Community Center that we have now, and tried to get that thing done. So we got funding from the Korean government. We did fundraising in the community, and also we got $500,000 funding from HUD through City of Houston. My motto right now is cherish yesterday, live today, and dream tomorrow. Do not think of bad things of the past. Just think of the good things and have good dreams for the future. My name is Casey Yoon, and this is my Korean American story.